Welcome to Spiritual Talk with Christy Godwin and Friends, an authentic podcast where we sit and discuss all things spiritual.
Hello, beautiful souls. I am Christy Godwin, and welcome to my podcast, Spiritual Talk with Christy Godwin and Friends. I have the beautiful, now I know I always get Cathy's last name wrong because it's a beautiful last name, but for what it's Italian and I have issues with it. It's Cathy Castillo.
Yes.
Now, Cathy was a sister of mercy for 10 years, aka a nun.
Yes.
And also Jolene Brown here. She was raised Catholic, so she has a lot of experience in the spiritual realm. And she's also been a hairstylist for 42 years. She actually does my hair. She's probably looking at me right now saying, Christy, please don't say that. You need to Welcome, ladies. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So now we are here to discuss just our spiritual lives and where it has taken us. And I remember the first time Cathy came to my office, she's one of the most open-minded people I had ever met, and the same with Jolene. And what I love about these ladies, which I think we need to take a listen, is that y'all are fabulous at agreeing to disagree.
Yes.
I agree with that.
Yes.
Now, I want to start, Cathy, with, because I know every time people, they have this idea of what a nun has. You were a nun for 10 years. What caused you to leave you didn't leave the faith, you left the job?
No, I did not leave the Catholic Church, but I had some problems with it for a while. And I loved the sisters, and they were like, they raised me and they were my family, and I loved the work, but I got pushed against the wall. And I said to myself, there's something more, and life is too short to do this. And it was really strict rules. And I just couldn't do it anymore. But I loved the sisters, so it was very painful to leave them.
Because it was like you leaving your family.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what was the last straw that kind of pushed you out?
I was teaching. I loved it. It was a blue collar parish, a Catholic parish in Kansas City, Missouri. And I loved the people, and I was amongst the people, but I was very young. I was 25 or 26. But I was there for the people, and I would be engaged with them, and I would come, the convent was upstairs from the community room, and I'd come upstairs late, and I'd have to knock on the door, and the superior would have to let me in, and she did not like that. So I wasn't really in good graces in that way. But the Sisters of Mercy are to be with the people. And we have the corporal and spiritual works of mercy, and you can't do that without being with the people. So I just went ahead and broke some of the rules. That was not good in one way, but it was good for me.
Yes.
And so I finally got disciplined and corrected, and it was embarrassing, and it was in front of some of my children that I taught. And that was the straw.
It so reminds me of some of the experience, just what you said. Now, some of this story, for those listening or watching, I knew, and some of it I didn't. And what just hit me that it explains some of the experiences I've had with the church is a lot of grace sometimes where I feel like it needs to be given. Like you might have been breaking rules because you were late coming in, but you had it's not like you were just being immoral. You were with the people, you were loving people. And that's really what you were supposed to be about, is loving people. But here they were having this unbending rule. I don't care if you're loving people, you have to be
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
You were doing your job.
Exactly.
Yeah.
also, there were a lot of changes. It was Vatican II. I don't know if you're familiar with that. There was Pope John the 23rd, and he came in. He was elected to be Pope, and he was only there for a couple years. But he said, let's open the windows of the church. So there was a lot of change. And when change happens, some people cannot handle change. And so that was operating as well. And I was young, but I wasn't old. So I was young in spirit, but I still loved the sisters. So I was between a rock and a hard place.
But that's what I think all this boils down to, is how you're talking about you were young, but you love the people. You love the people. And I have been in so many Bible studies, and y'all can imagine, because I'm inquisitive, I want to learn, I'm always asking, I'm causing issues, because I always go back to my God and my Jesus is one of love, and I don't understand it when people interpret scripture or something to be not in love. So now, Jolene, you grew up in a Catholic home, did you not?
Yes, Catholic home, 8 brothers and sisters, farm family in Iowa, and very Catholic.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So now, did you experience the same thing where it was about very rigid rules that you had to follow?
Very rigid rules. You go to church once a week, you go to confession, you make all your sacraments, as a young person, and then on up into confirmation was the last one.
Mm-hmm.
And you forgive people, but you definitely go to church every week. You receive communion, and that is the way you're gonna get to heaven.
Mm-hmm.
Union and making sure you're at church. And okay, so now a question for you ladies. You can tell I'm taking a breath, so they're like, oh my goodness, what is she gonna ask?
What is she gonna ask?
No.
So you ladies, I met you both through, of course, coming to me for readings. And what was your thought on that, mix of the dark spirits? Because I know I get a lot of that. People are afraid of psychic mediums. They're afraid of the dark spirits. What are your all's thoughts on that?
Right.
Yeah, well, I've had other people kind of do a reading with me, different ones, Native American type. I met a guru from India, and he was very spiritual and kind of led me down this path. And then when Jolene told me about you, I immediately wanted to come and talk to you, because I had a lot of people that had crossed over, and I really wanted to talk to them, and Jolene was the one that really, inspired me, because she had come to see you. But I always believe my father was killed when I was 5 years old, and I was having a really hard time about 40. And I decided to write him letters. And that was the beginning of, he didn't really appear to me or anything, but I felt better, and I felt like he heard me, because he was a very loving, outgoing, big, handsome Italian man that I missed out on. But everybody told me I was like him, and I was sad, because I needed to talk to somebody that could help me, and there wasn't anybody at the time. So I kind of was set up for you.
Yeah,
I was ready for you. And I also,
because when I told you about Christy, you were like all over it. Oh yeah, I'm going.
I said, no, let's go. Yeah, so that's kind of my,
Jolene, about it. Were you not afraid of, because I hear that a lot, afraid to open up to the other side, I'm afraid of dark spirits. Were you
Oh
afraid?
yeah. I was taught from young on that a medium is a wacko person.
Yeah.
And you don't ever want to hear them or listen to them, because they are more from Satan than from anything else. And of course, the Bible, I was taught the Bible talk bad about mediums. You never go to mediums. And if you did go to one, they're not going to tell you the truth, and they're going to just tell you things that's so general that it relates to you, but it's, oh no, they don't know what they're talking about, and they're certainly not on your side.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, I was going to move on to something else, but now you brought up something that I want to circle back to. When you're talking about general, that is one thing I do want to warn anyone who is listening to watching this. A medium should give you very evidential information so that you are absolutely 100% sure of who is coming through. And I do want to address that there are mediums who should not be doing medium work, but there's also, hairstylists who shouldn't be doing hair.
That's right.
That's it. Yes.
Also, I always tell people when they are afraid, because we tap into heaven, tap into the other realms. I've never met anything but a loving vibration. But you know who does scare me?
Who?
The what?
My fellow humans.
Oh.
Find a dark or evil spirit, you better be looking to your people you're standing next to in the store, because that's where I find them.
Oh yeah, some people are scary out there.
Yes, but I've never met someone that has passed that is not. And yes, I have brought forward spirits who on earth, I probably am a little bit scared of them. Murderers and rapists and the whole deal. But was a crossover.
Well, that's what I learned from you when I went for the first time to have a reading with you, and you are so spot on, and everything you said resonated, and I had this feeling come over me like, this is a good thing. This is loving.
Mm-hmm.
This is wonderful. It's like I know after I read with you, I felt so good and so free and so powerful and confident. I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do you think part of the do you think it's people being stuck in past belief systems that's keeping some of because you see right now how this world is becoming very polarized. You just see a lot of infighting between religions. And, I'm Protestant myself. And some of the things I've had said to me from people of my own church, I'm like, oh my goodness, this is why people are fleeing the churches, is that judgmentalness.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think? Because I know, Cathy, that you still are friends with some of your past sisters from the Sisters of Mercy. Do you find them being stuck in past belief systems, or
do I blame them?
No, are they still stuck in past?
Oh, you know what? The Sisters of Mercy are on the cutting edge. They're very well educated. They financially, they were very smart, because a lot of orders did not, financially take care and invest their money. And so they're very well educated. So I would say a lot of them that went on, got their masters, studied, their professors, their therapists, they are, some of them have been arrested for marching against,
Oh.
Yes. Sisters of Mercy had put in jail.
Those nuns.
Yeah. But again, the whole community is not like that, because there are some that are kind of stuck in the old way. But for the most part, I have two friends especially, and we have discussions, and they're very uplifting, because they're well read, and they keep up, and our what we said, actually, I was just with them on a trip, and what we said is, it was very difficult to leave. It was difficult to stay and hang in there. So I think as a order across the board, they keep up with the times, but of course you're going to have some like that I lived with that they do not want change, and they will dig in their heels. Yeah, there's still those. Yeah.
It's saying that just in general with some of my clients and the people who, come and follow me is that they're starting to question the spoon-fed religion that they had been given.
Yes, yes.
And they're starting to think about their own interpretation of it. So, Jolene, have you noticed that with your clients in general, how people are starting to kind of question their spoon-fed religion?
Oh yeah, I know a lot of Catholic people, and we talk about Catholicism a lot. And some have, kind of like me, changed a little bit, opened up, been a little less rigid. And, we're taught that if you don't believe that way, you're not going to heaven. Well, no. Me and other people, we don't think that anymore. It's more about, yes, it's a religion. We love Jesus and he is our life. Yes. But we don't have to be so rigid with you have to do this and you have to do that. You love and you do your thing and you've got love in your heart and kindness. I think, and a lot of my friends now think that, yeah, that is sufficient. You don't have to walk that Catholic line.
Yes, I see that so much with even young Protestant. I'm sorry, were you going to say something, Cathy?
Oh, just that a lot of those rules that people really follow for years, they're man-made. As when it's all about love, Christy. It's all about loving, no matter what. We had an old rule, eating meat on Friday.
Yeah.
We never did it. But if somebody's hungry and on Friday, you give them a piece of meat. You know what I mean? It's more loving. It's more about the person. And a lot of the strict rules that are I don't know. I don't understand them. They're man-made.
Yeah.
They are not
as long as
the way
that.
Jesus lived.
Remember
Yeah.
that.
Thank you. Yeah. I just thought of that when she was talking.
Absolutely. And what I love is that Jesus, and I will tell you, people think that, oh my goodness, I'm leaving my faith because I became a psychic medium. I became closer to God, closer to Jesus, because I realized that it's about love.
Yes.
And I just try to channel love, and I let everyone else worry about themselves. Let me just worry about loving you. And that's all I need to worry about. And I've had so many people. I was somewhere the other day. I was actually at the chiropractor, and I was just trying to, I don't know if I've told you ladies this story. I was just trying to get adjusted. I was trying to get the lady to swipe my card so I could leave. She mentioned something about my t-shirt. I said I'd gotten it in Dale, which is the psychic medium capital, of the United States. I'd taken a class up there. Instantly, this lady's attitude changed. She's like, how do you get to heaven? I was like, you die? Oh, you're going. Basically, this lady started telling me that I needed to figure out where I was going when I passed. I was like, you know what? I know where I'm going because I have brought through all those people. And I joke, but it's not really a joke. That's the reason Jesus didn't put any of us at the gate with the book. Because I promise you, I have brought people over from the other side that I've been at the gate with the book. I've been Jesus, I think you made a mistake. They're not supposed to be in here.
Yes. Yeah.
They can't have it, but that's the reason I don't have the book, and no one else does either.
No one else.
We need to worry about ourselves and just love our neighbors. And I'm not saying to roll over and just take it. I'm not saying to just allow people to go out and rape, murder, and create mayhem. The general rule going through life, we just need to love our neighbors.
And I agree with you. I feel closer to God now than I ever did following all the Catholic rules. And I'm not putting Catholic down. I still love Catholicism, but now I look at it at a different way, full of love, compassion, kindness, forgiveness, and just really talking to people and hearing them and helping them if I can.
Absolutely. And sometimes, and Jolene does it so beautifully, that's all you need to.
Yeah, we lost you. Are you still there? Oh, we lost you. There you are.
There.
I had a little bit of technical difficulty.
Yeah.
Do that very well of just listening to people, and that's how you spread your love, is by listening and just giving people a safe environment. Sometimes I think, I don't know how you ladies feel like this, I think it's ego that keeps people from growing spiritually. Because if there is a book that they can look at and say, you know what, I follow this rule and you don't, so I'm better.
Yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
I agree. Sometimes that is the culprit.
Yes.
Yes, and it just, just creates fear. And, and what I have found is it creates people getting stuck.
Yeah, stuck is a good word because you do get stuck and you don't know how to get unstuck. Sometimes that's the problem.
Yes, and I hear so many people come to me because I also do life coaching, and it's just getting them unstuck because they just feel like they're on this wheel of, I have to follow this rule, I have to follow this rule, you're not following that rule, oh, you're not acceptable because you didn't follow this rule, and they just feel so stuck in life.
Yeah, because if you missed one Sunday of going to mass, you got to make that up somehow because that's a bad thing to do. But
being Protestant, I will say that Protestants are that bad at that. They just like the lady who was telling me that I needed to figure out where I was going because I wasn't going to heaven because I was a medium.
right.
And she didn't realize it, but she goes to the same church as I do. It's just a big church.
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
I'm like, that's not love. That's not,
No.
you're never going to bring someone to love by throwing the Bible at them.
So true.
No,
So true.
no. Or, and the other word that you use a lot, no judging. We don't judge anybody else. I don't feel like I have a right to. I just, take them as they are and let them live their life the way they want to, but without judging. And that took a long time because, and especially I didn't judge the sisters, but I was really, I was upset with them and of course the church, but I got over that because that didn't serve me.
And you can't possibly agree with everyone,
No.
but you can accept it
Yes.
with love.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another thing I love is I meet people of all different races and faiths and belief systems. And when we can meet together in a love environment, it just allows you to see their magic and what they're bringing to this earth so much better. It's love. I mean, if you are my friend, you're in my inner circle, you're probably not an eclectic person because I love eclectic people that just you can talk to and they just love each other.
Because you can learn something from everybody.
Yes.
Yes. And I will say, I don't know about you ladies, a way that I like for anyone who is feeling stuck, and just always like telling me to do some self-help type advice. A great way to get out of your ego, to feel unstuck, is to tap into your passion, whatever that may be. Some people are passionate about writing, talking, going for walks, hiking, baking, whatever your passion is, I promise you, if you start tapping into that, you will get yourself unstuck.
Yes.
That's good advice.
That's exactly. Yes, I totally agree. I can't think of his name right now, but he said, oh shoot, I'm sorry. But he said, you must find your bliss to be happy.
Yes.
What was his name? James Cameron, not James Cameron. I'm sorry. I'm spacing on his name right now. Sorry. But you need to find your passion, your bliss, and go after it.
So now I'll just give some people some ideas. Some of my passions are, I get my passion from nature. And it's according to the day. Sometimes I will sit down with a book. That's my passion. Another day, it might be cooking. Another day, it is hiking. I know for my daughter, we have discussed this. She was kind of going through a tough time. Not a tough time. It was summer break. She's so on with school. School's tough. She's in nursing school. So when you're like focused down to and then you have some release of time, you're like, what do? She took back up horseback riding lessons. It was just
yeah, that'll do it.
passion, isn't
it? Yeah.
That's Kathy's passion is horses.
Yeah.
Yes. And so, Miss Jolene, What's your passion? What do you do when you feel unstuck?
Oh, exercising, taking a walk, and reading. I like all of those.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Calling someone, talking.
Yes, that is a good one. Talking to a friend, that is an excellent one.
Yes.
Sometimes just putting on music and dancing, and the list goes on and on. For as many people as there are in this world, that's how many ways you can get unstuck.
I
It's just
agree.
Exactly.
a person, it feeds them.
Yeah.
Now, I want to talk about whenever I scheduled this with Jolene and Cathy, the decision that has just come down. So here I am going to talk about the elephant in the room. What is everyone's feelings on the Roe versus Wade?
Oh, that's
I personally, I'm glad it went to the states. So the
Yeah.
states can decide. And if your state doesn't allow abortion and you want an abortion, find a state that allows it. There's so many things that your state might not allow, like if you want to, suicide, if you want to end your life, your state might not do it, but people go to different states to have it done and do it.
mhm.
So I still think your freedoms are there. You can still do what you want. No one's stopping you from doing it. And I think state to state, I think that is the way to go. That's what I think.
Okay. And what's your feelings on it, Cathy?
Oh, Lord. I am okay, let me explain it this way. My heart hurts. And when I see a poor person on the street that that's begging, and I'm divided. Should I get out of the car and give them money? Should I give them, give them socks? Or when I drive by, that's very difficult. It's I get conflicted because it's so hard. It's just so hard. I believe in a woman's right to take care of her own, but I totally believe that. And I believe there's different circumstances. So you can't just say something for everybody. That doesn't work that way. Everybody's different. Personally, I probably would continue a pregnancy because that is how I was raised. And it's ingrained in me. It's kind of like the beggar on the street. Oh, I can't possibly pass this person by. And when I do, I feel bad. So I don't know if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Personally, it's not for me, but I think it's a tough decision for anybody to make. And
Right.
but
Thanks, yeah.
but no judging. There's no judging about someone's decision.
So what I hear you saying, though, is that you would not choose that route for yourself, but it's not your choice to make for other people.
Yep. That's correct.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No. Because I don't know what's in somebody's heart or somebody's situation or whatever.
Right. And that is exactly what we've been talking about during this whole podcast is you accept people where they are, you love them where they are. And unfortunately, Cathy, I think that you brought up a beautiful point in that the beggar on the street, those are the people that are going to, because, you have to think about it. Honestly, let's be honest, ladies, one of our relatives would probably not have an issue because we come from enough means to get them to a place where they can have help.
Yes.
But if you're talking someone who is living paycheck to paycheck and doesn't have the money to travel to another state or something, those are the ones. And unfortunately, those are also typically the people that are not as safe, that are in situations that they can't get out of.
They
And-
cannot. No, they can't.
There's a lot of people like that.
Yes. And cannot feed another child. It's like being impossible.
But we're always going to have that little problem. And I'm not demeaning it, but that's always going to be a problem. There's not enough food. People can't buy enough food, and they can't drive their cars. And, there's always going to be that. But as far as this Roe versus Wade, I believe in women's right also. And I don't think it was really taken away from us. It was just changed a little bit.
I will say that I don't know if y'all, just today, I don't know if y'all saw that I had done a TikTok on, I don't know, have you ladies ever seen me channel before?
Yes, I have.
Okay. So whenever I had channeled Mother Mary, and because I was just feeling, and I had not thought about Roe versus Wade. Another psychic medium was with me. She was asking me questions as I was channeling Mary. She was asking questions. And one of them was Roe versus Wade, and I had just been so just angry over, like, I felt like we were taking a step back instead of and so when the question was asked, I could actually feel Mary laughing. She's like, oh no, this was just to get everyone's attention. She said, we have now awakened the sleeping giant. Whereas the young people of the world or United States especially, had just kind of been taking it for granted. Now,
Wow.
The women of our generation, we've raised some fierce children. And these, now they're going to be very involved in politics.
I hope so.
Yeah, that's one way.
That is,
One
that's
way to look at
great.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it definitely, and she was, after she said that, Mary said that, I took a step back. It's like, yes, everyone's attention has been, even my kids who, not extremely involved in politics. They go and vote, they do, but now they're like,
It kind of opened up a door.
Absolutely open door and grab people's attention. So at first I thought I was just horrified, but now it's like, you know what? There's always a greater good. We can always turn something into a greater good.
There you go.
So were you going to say something, Cathy?
Yeah, it just reminds me, we're not in charge. God's in charge. Jesus is my best friend, and he's got the answers. I mean, I don't know what that, we are not, it's the greater
We can think
good.
whatever we want, but we're not, God's in charge.
Yeah, that's how I see it, but
there's always I think a way of a greater good when something like this happens.
Yes.
And there are some very much, angry young women out there. And they will be making some changes in this world.
Yeah.
Now, what is your view? I just heard you mention Jesus, and I know, again, we have people that have different views on Jesus. So I'm going to ask each of you ladies, what is your view on Jesus?
My view on Jesus? Jesus is the ultimate. Jesus is everything. Jesus and God, I connect him. I just say Jesus and God. I just say Jesus. I mean God. He is the one that created everything. We, it just comes down. Jesus is the top dog.
I love it.
Love him with all my heart, and he's the one I go to, the one I talk to, and he's in charge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's really good.
What are your thoughts, Cathy?
Well, I came through the fire, and I'm glad I did. But at the time, the sisters were my family. I left my family, my birth family, had a lot of losses there. And then I left the sisters. And then I had a marriage that didn't last. And I was desperate. And I was angry about going through that. But had I not gone through that, Jesus has become my constant companion, best friend. I mean, that's it. That's the end of it. And I don't think that would have happened had I not been through all of that.
He's our savior.
So
and
I
more
got,
words than
I
words.
got to see that's it. And then through all that, I have a lot of other support, because I felt after all that trauma that I was alone. I am never alone.
There you go.
And so he's actually just a constant companion. And I don't, I'm not a person that, some people just say, oh, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. I don't do that because I don't feel that way. I just feel like it's just really just with me all the time. But it's not that, I don't know. I don't know if I'm making any sense. Yeah.
Yeah, I get you. And what I want to say is that I felt this, people think I'm a psychic medium, or you must not believe in Jesus. I absolutely believe in Jesus. I have channeled Jesus. The Jesus consciousness.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And, but what I don't believe in is the Jesus that causes people to throw their Bible at me. That's not my Jesus.
No.
Well, and growing up Catholic, it's more of, I had a robot Jesus.
Yes, he's so much more.
Oh, so much more. And of course, the older you get, maybe it's age, experience, but especially talking to you and getting to talk to my loved ones that are not here anymore, hearing them, I look at Jesus differently, honestly, more of a best friend.
Yeah.
And someone I can talk to all the time.
All the time.
And if someone could get anything out of what we're talking about here, is that Jesus is available to everyone. He's love. And I think that people at our churches have kind of pushed people away from Jesus because they come out with this, well, Jesus said this. Well, Jesus wasn't even a Christian. I hate to tell people.
Well, he was Jewish.
I love it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. If people could just not throw out the baby with the bathwater, and just because their church has taught them that their Jesus is Jesus judges, has taught them that their Jesus gives them a right to feel more powerful than those around them. Don't throw out the baby with the bathwater, because that's not what Jesus is about.
Right.
Loving everyone.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And there is something, that saying, it's been around for a while, what would Jesus do? There's something to that. I mean, go back to that. Come on.
Yeah.
I have to laugh. The reason I'm laughing, Cathy, this is a little bit off subject, but I just, again today, put out a thing. Over the last, I would say 6 months or so, I have received texts from people, and when Spirit does this to you, and this is for everyone listening, gives you what's called synchronicities, or you see things happening several times in your life.
Yes.
Was one of my clients who had my phone number for a second. The text I got was WWCD. What would Christy do?
I love it.
To tell me,
Uh-huh.
I kind of laugh, whatever, funny, haha. After that, I had so many people using that exact phrase with me. And for the longest time, I would not use it. What would Christy do? Because of the what would Jesus do? I didn't want anyone to, by any means, think that I was trying to level myself up with him, because I am absolutely not. But saying that, I did just put an appointment on my on my website, and it's just a quick 15-minute what would Christy do appointment.
I love it.
And think of it when people, so whenever you are trying to get information from the other side, when you are looking for guidance, make sure people are looking for those synchronicities and kind of, where are you being pulled? What's being dropped in front of you? Jesus, your loved ones are always trying to get your attention and help you and love you.
Yep.
So true.
Exactly. Yep.
And so and that's what I love about these ladies, for everyone listening, is their view of Jesus is much like mine. He is about love.
And anyone that knows you would never think that, what would Christy do? I mean, that's not in your wheelhouse at all.
You would never level yourself. No.
if you're my good friend, you will hear me say every once in a while, I'm not Jesus. I'm having a hard time, because we all go through times where we're having a tough time with forgiveness, or we're having a tough time feeling bitter over something. We just can't reside there. It's okay to feel that way every once in a while.
Exactly. Yeah.
We just can't there.
No, you can't. No.
If you find yourself, for those listening, living in that bitterness or living in that unforgiveness, that's when you kick in your passion. Find something you're passionate about, whether it's walking, reading, cooking, talking to a friend, anything, to the gym, anything to pull yourself out of it, because it's when you reside in that unforgiveness and bitterness that you're going to just keep sliding down.
And it's so unhealthy to be there.
Yeah. Yes,
So
it's so
unhealthy.
unhealthy.
Yeah.
And don't you think also, along with the resentment and the non-forgiving and the just being in that space, people are afraid. They have I don't know about many different things, but we touched on this one time, the three of us, and they need to be heard. And I think they're afraid they're not going to be heard. There's no one to listen to them anymore. And I see fear, and what am I going to do? I don't have, I don't know if that makes any sense, but.
Yes, I have talked a lot on some of the biggest problems in our society are based on fear. It's all about fear.
Yeah, there's a lot of fear out there.
Because you have to think about it. If you're walking in love, you're never going to make misstep, because that's what Jesus taught. That's what being whatever your religious belief is. It doesn't tie to Jesus, whatever religion you're in. Even if you're not in a religion, if you just walk in love.
Right.
And you talked before about having the Bible thrown at you. The Bible is interpreted so many different ways. I don't know if anybody really has it correct, but if you let yourself believe a certain way, a certain thing in the Bible, you can be afraid and, scared. And you've got to just open up and know that Jesus is love. The Bible is love.
Yes.
Yeah, the Bible has a lot of stories, and some stories in the Bible aren't so great.
Right.
But open your heart. Think of love, and think of friends, and think of compassion and togetherness. Don't let the Bible get you down.
That's good.
We could quote verses left and right.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I say that if you read the Bible through a lens of unconditional love, that's what you're going to see. If you read the Bible through a lens of judgmentalness,
yes, that is correct.
Every time I have been in a Bible study or any kind of class, and people were just going back and forth about, well, this verse means this verse means that.
Yeah.
If your interpretation of whatever verse it is does not end up in love, then that's the wrong interpretation.
Yeah.
Yes. So true.
Yeah.
I don't know much in this life, but I do know that heaven, God, Jesus, it's about love.
Yeah.
And as long as you're walking that love vibration.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Totally.
And if I've learned anything this year with you, Christy, is I've learned more about love. And that makes me so happy.
Mm-hmm.
She's about to make me cry, people.
Okay. You've got Kleenex in your office. Okay.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Yeah.
Well, thank you, ladies, so much for being with me. I do want to tell anyone out there that is listening, Christy Godwin 111@gmail.com. Please message me any questions that you would like me and these ladies to answer, because I bet if I get some questions, I can talk them to coming back on.
We could be persuaded.
Yeah, maybe.
Anything that anyone listening would like to, what is it Bible? Is it Jesus? Is it love? Is it just how? Because between the three of us, I think we have all encountered just about any kind of setback that life can throw at you.
Yes, ma'am.
So true.
For your questions, I want to thank you both for being with me today.
Thank you.
Thank you, Christy.
Yeah, we love you.
So again, anyone watching, listening to this, you can find me, Christy Godwin, Psychic Medium, on all of the social medias. If you would like to send me an email, it's christygodwin111@gmail.com. I hope everyone has just a beautifully blessed day. Thank you.
Thank you.